Betrayal is a bitter pill to swallow, but for the greatest warrior of the Qin clan, it is the start of a legendary reversal. Patriarch Qin Wikeng gave him a single purpose. Protect the young master at all costs, for that is his only reason to live. Mumyong accepted his fate with absolute loyalty. He never knew the monster he was sworn to protect would lead him to ruin. 15 years later, the clan has fallen into decay, as the young master spends his days in filth and absolute greed. In a shocking twist of fate, the man he protected for over a decade drives a blade through his heart without hesitation. Qin Maryang sold out his own family and his most loyal warrior to the demonic cult, just to save his own skin. But the cult has no room for cowards. The shadow of death looms over everyone as Mumyong takes his final breath. As his vision fades, Mumyong prays for a new life. He hopes to be reborn with a name of his own next time. The cold touch of death vanishes as he wakes up in a warm room. He is confused but very much alive. Looking into the mirror, he sees the face of his murderer. He has regressed 15 years into the body of the trash young master. This is his chance to fix everything. He takes up the legendary heavenly light sword to reclaim the glory of the clan. But this body is a mess of wasted potential. Years of laziness and incorrect elixirs have left his energy blocked. He heads to the training ground to begin his grueling transformation. He must lose the weight to survive the coming war. While the world laughs, a new enemy watches from the shadows. The path of the reborn warrior has only just begun. Mumyong realizes that regressing into the body of the clan's greatest loser is a total nightmare. This body is a complete mess of unabsorbed elixirs and pure fat. Suddenly, a real blade whistles through the air and nearly takes his head off. Someone just tried to kill the young master and called it a mistake during sparring. It is Nung Ryaoun and his gang of thugs. These disciples have zero respect for their master and openly mock him for being a pathetic pig who only hides in his room. Knowing he is too weak to fight back, yet Mumyong swallows his pride. He heads for the Heavenly Dragon Library to find a way to fix this broken body. But the humiliation does not end there. A guard blocks his path and delivers news that shatters his plans. The young patriarch title has been stripped away, and entry to the library is now forbidden. Mumyong is officially an outcast within his own family. He realizes the original Maryang was a loner with zero allies, but he refuses to give up. He begins a grueling training routine under the cover of night. In a rare moment of kindness, he thanks his loyal maid Wal Yong for her hard work. This small gesture leaves her completely stunned. For the first time in 2 lives, Mumyong is not training out of duty. He is training for himself, and he is actually starting to enjoy the burn. Even in a torrential downpour, he does not stop. The sight of the young master pushing himself to the limit starts to draw unwanted attention from his enemies. Nung Ryaoun watches with pure disgust. He cannot stand that the clan pig is suddenly acting like a real warrior, and decides it is time to put him in his place. After weeks of agony, Mumyong finally has the stamina to wield a sword. He is ready to reclaim his dignity when he hears a scream from the courtyard. He finds the arrogant Ryaoun assaulting Wal Yong for trying to protect him. The bully has just made the biggest mistake of his life by touching the warrior's only ally. Nung Ryaoun is losing his mind. He cannot believe a mere maid is actually talking back to him. Wal Yong stands her ground. She demands that he take back every single insult directed at her master. Driven by pure rage, Ryaoun snaps. He pulls out his blade with a murderous look in his eyes. He swings for the kill. But before the blade can reach her, someone blocks the strike with a heavy sound. It is the eldest young master. Qin Maryang is standing tall and staring down the bully with cold intensity. Maryang issues a challenge right then and there. He tells Ryaoun to raise his sword for a real fight. He makes it official for everyone to hear. This is no longer a simple spar. This is a life and death match. Maryang reveals his true creed. He declares that he will never tolerate insults toward the people who care for him. Ryaoun thinks he has the advantage. He charges forward with arrogant speed, confident in his superior power. Suddenly, Maryang releases an unfathomable spirit. The sheer pressure of his aura freezes the bully in his tracks. Maryang moves like a blur. He strikes with a hidden technique and a power Ryaoun never saw coming. Clang, Ryaoun is completely disarmed. His sword flies through the air like a discarded toy. Maryang looks down at the defeated bully. He tells him coldly that he is not qualified to wield a sword. Wal Yong is moved to tears. She remembers a moment from years ago when a young Maryang promised to protect her. The tension explodes as a new figure arrives. General Commander Seon Hak makes a grand entrance. Seon Hak is furious. He accuses Maryang of stealing the secret dragon's claw technique from a traitor. I happened to see the dragon's claw once and merely imitated it. Maryang lies through his teeth as the general commander stares him down. The general bursts into laughter at the sheer audacity of the claim. This trash thinks he can fool a seasoned master. Enough of this nonsense. The commander demands Maryang draw his blade to prove his words directly. Cheon Hak turns his intense gaze toward the maid Wal Yong. He demands to know what the young master is really plotting. Wal Yong trembles, but she tells the truth. The young master has changed, and he has been smiling constantly. Even while running until he collapses, the young master looks happy. It is a sight no one in the clan ever expected to see. Fine, you have 2 months to defeat the head disciple. If you win, I will finally believe you. 2 months is too long. I only need 1 month. Maryang is already steps ahead of everyone. 15 days of grueling training pass. Maryang has already reached the 5th stage of the heavenly Yang divine art. Maryang meets his opponent. Lee Seok-gi, the head disciple, promises to end the duel quickly and go easy on him. But Maryang recognizes this face from his past life. This man is the traitor who leaked clan secrets to the demonic cult. The goal was just to win, but now the stakes have changed. Maryang will destroy this traitorous bastard once and for all. The day of the duel arrives, and the training grounds are packed with disciples eager to see a slaughter. Lee Seok-gi steps forward with confidence. He is certain this will be the easiest fight of his life. But the man who walks out is not the fat loser they expected. Maryang has completely transformed into a lean and powerful warrior. Look at that transformation. The crowd can't believe their eyes as the formerly obese young master steps onto the field looking like a true warrior. General Commander Cheon Hak watches with a cold stare. He is waiting to see if this change is just for show or if the lazy brat has actually found some spine. Lee Seok-gi smirks while holding his wooden sword. He thinks this is his ticket to fame, and he plans to crush Maryang to impress the high-ranking commanders. But Moon-myung remembers everything. In his past life, this man was a snake who abandoned the sword for politics and manipulation. The ultimate betrayal. Lee Seok-gi was the traitor who sold out the clan to the demonic cult for gold and power. The warrior within Maryang burns with rage. He won't let history repeat itself. This time, the judgment of the sword comes early. He readies his stance with absolute precision. This is not just a match. It is an execution of a future criminal. The entire arena goes silent as the two fighters take their positions. The tension is thick enough to cut with a blade. Begin, the general's voice thunders across the grounds, and the air explodes with movement. Maryang moves like a shadow. He closes the distance in a heartbeat. Lee Seok-gi is already falling behind. Wood smashes against wood. Lee Seok-gi struggles to keep up as Maryang's technique completely overwhelms his defense. There is no escape. Maryang sees right through the traitor's clumsy attempts at a counterattack and moves in for the kill. One strike is all it takes. The force of the blow sends Lee Seok-gi flying as the crowd gasps in disbelief. Everything goes sideways for the head disciple. He is staring at the sky, wondering how a deadbeat could possibly move this fast. Maryang stands tall, looking down at his defeated foe. The gap between a political leech and a true master is absolute. Watch your step from now on. Maryang delivers a chilling warning. He is watching every move the traitor makes. While the crowd cheers, Noong Ryaoun is fuming. His perfect plan to humiliate Maryang has just gone up in smoke. Moon-myung just shocked the entire clan by dropping the head disciple in a single hit. Lee Seok-gi is completely finished, and the crowd cannot believe their eyes. The gossip spreads like wildfire as everyone wonders if the useless young master used some kind of cheap trick to win. Noong Ryaoun is fuming because his easy bet just went up in smoke. He cannot stand seeing the deadbeat get any more cocky. But then Moon-myung does something no one expected. He stands before the crowd and admits that he was a piece of trash. He acknowledges the absolute chaos and pain caused by the original Chin Maryang. He is ready to pay the price for every single sin. In a move that stuns the entire audience, Moon-myung bows low. He publicly apologizes for every evil deed he committed in the past. He issues an open challenge to anyone still holding a grudge. If your anger remains, come to the training ground, and I will be waiting. Later, Wal Yong refuses to give back the sword because holding it makes her feel strong for the first time. She wants to keep it a bit longer. General Commander Cheon Hak stops Moon-myung with a serious question. He wants to know what he intended to cut with that final strike. Moon-myung looks him dead in the eye and says he intended to cut the sky itself. The commander is left speechless by such massive ambition. Since the library is off limits, Moon-myung makes a new request. He wants a new duel every single day to sharpen his skills through combat. The first person to step up is Cha Myung-hak. He has been waiting years to pay back the scar Moomyong left on his face. Look at this intensity. The once lazy young master is now a demon on the training grounds showing off moves no one thought he could perform. Cha Myung-hak is fuming because the man who challenged him to a life and death duel is completely ignoring him to keep training. Wal Yong steps in with refreshments and explains that once the young master starts his training, he loses all track of his surroundings. Maryang used to be a monster who tormented the servants, but now even the maid is worried that he is pushing himself too hard. As Myung-hak watches, he realizes the path of the sword is perfect, and he feels like he is the target of every single strike. The killing intent is real, and even though the duel has not officially started, Myung-hak feels like he is already fighting for his life. Then the unthinkable happens when the arrogant young master bows his head and asks for forgiveness for the scar he caused years ago. Overwhelmed by the change in Maryang and his superior skill, Myung-hak admits defeat without even drawing his blade. Maryang is serious about righting his wrongs, and he asks Wal Yong to list every single misdeed he has ever committed so he can fix them. From that day on, the duels continue, and one by one, every trainee in the clan is defeated in a single strike by the transformed master. Despite his physical growth, Maryang hits a wall in his cultivation and realizes he needs a higher-tier technique to break his limits. A sudden memory hits him like a lightning bolt, because the patriarch who saved his life is finally returning home today. But there is no time for a happy reunion, as Wal Yong's friend, Hwa Hong, arrives in a total panic with terrible news. Maryang's fiancé has arrived early, and she is already tormenting the poor maid as if she is a cold-blooded viper looking for a fight. With the patriarch returning, and his dangerous fiancée causing chaos, the young master's new life is about to get much more complicated. The ice flower has arrived to turn the Chin clan into a graveyard. Tang So-hai is already demanding blood for a ruined robe. Her guard swings for a lethal blow, but a flash of steel stops him cold. The young master has entered the battle. Tang So-hai. In Moomyong's past life, this woman was his wife and the catalyst for his clan's total destruction. The Tang clan used this marriage to poison the family from within. But this time, Moomyong is the one with the bite. The lead guard unleashes a wave of sword kai. This is no ordinary fighter. He is a first-rate master out for blood. The battle is fierce. Every strike feels like a hammer blow against Moomyong's defense. Moomyong is outclassed in raw strength. He has to gamble everything on the sword of subtlety. Dragon Claw Rain. He shreds the guard's defense and knocks the weapon right out of his hands. Tang So-hai stops the fight, but she is far from finished. She wants Moomyong dead before the night ends. The maid Wal Yong has been poisoned. This was the Ice Flower's plan all along to distract the young master. Moomyong carries his loyal servant through the halls. He's going to save her even if he has to burn the clan down. A spy watches from the shadows. Nung Ryaoun is about to receive some very interesting news. Wal Yong is at death's door. The doctors have done all they can, but they warn that only an antidote from the Tang clan can save her now. Moomyong stares at his fallen comrade with eyes colder than winter. He knows a banquet is being held for the patriarch tonight. Just for today, he will play the part of the deadbeat son to flush out the snakes hiding in the shadows. From the trees, General Cheon watches with narrowed eyes. He senses a vicious aura coming from the training grounds that shouldn't belong to a human. Moomyong's blade is a blur of destruction. This is not a refined sword art. It is a man-slashing technique fueled by pure hatred and survival. With one final roar, Moomyong cleaves a massive tree in two with a single vertical strike. He is disgusted by his own perceived weakness and his failure to protect those he cares for. The general is stunned when Moomyong declares his desire to protect the Chin clan. He realizes the boy has a warrior's heart and decides to pass on his greatest secret. This is the reverse scale slash, a technique that stands on the boundary between heaven and hell. Cheon-hak unleashes a whirlwind of power that shakes the entire forest with its intensity. Nearby, a group of traders hide in the brush with a vial of specialized poison. They plan to frame the young master as a drunk failure to ruin him before the banquet begins. But they have no idea that the predator has already smelled the rats. As the general leaves for the hall, Moomyong turns his gaze toward the shadows with a terrifying grin. Trap is set. These assassins think they have the jump on Maryang, but they have no idea who they are really dealing with. Maryang laughs in their faces. He knows every single trainee in the clan, and these old men definitely do not belong here. Elsewhere, the other disciples are training like madmen. They are determined to take back their pride after losing to the young master. Back in the woods, the fight is a total slaughter. Maryang moves like a ghost and strikes with lethal precision. Maryang realizes these killers are from the Tang clan. This is the ultimate gift because it gives him the proof he needs to cancel the wedding. He unleashes the reverse scale slash. This is the end for anyone foolish enough to stand in his way. But a much bigger threat is hiding nearby. An elite Tang clan warrior is busy burning evidence to hide their crimes. This greedy head trainee thinks he can use this situation to become a hero or a traitor. He has no idea he is walking into a nightmare. The Tang warrior strikes without warning. In an instant, the traitorous disciple finds himself staring death in the face. The traitors are finally making their move. They think they can just ambush the young master and walk away without leaving a trace. But out of nowhere, a lethal strike from the shadows aims to silence anyone who saw too much. This is no ordinary assassin. Clang, the heavy blade of the Tang clan warrior is stopped cold by a lowly trainee. The impact sends sparks flying through the air. The warrior is stunned. He cannot believe a mere trainee has the strength to block his sword. His pride takes a massive hit in an instant. Surprise, these aren't just any trainees. They are candidates for the elite sword units of the Cheon clan, and they are ready for a fight. Trained by Commander Cheon Hak himself, only the top 5 are selected for the sword units. Now you understand why they are so strong. The Tang warrior laughs it off. He challenges them to a 7-on-1 fight to prove who is truly superior on the battlefield. But he soon realizes he messed with the wrong crowd. His lethal strike is effortlessly parried in the heat of the moment. You newborn pups really don't know your place in this world. The warrior roars as he prepares to show them the difference in their levels. Too slow. The battle ends in an instant, leaving the once arrogant warrior defeated and eating dirt on the forest floor. The trainees prepare to leave, but the head trainee uses a sudden stomach ache as an excuse to stay behind and check the area. He finds the partially burnt clothes and decides to keep them as leverage. A little insurance in case he needs to betray his own clan later. Meanwhile, our protagonist has already taken care of business. He stands tall over his fallen foes as the sun begins to set. The music swells as the patriarch of the Cheon clan enters the grand banquet hall. His presence commands respect from every person in the room. The guests are in absolute awe. They whisper about his elegance and strength. To them, he is a paragon for all martial artists to follow. But the real shocker arrives next. The ice flower of the Tang clan. Tang So-hai herself enters the hall with breathtaking beauty. I hereby declare a marriage alliance between our two families right here and now. The patriarch's announcement stuns the entire assembly. The room erupts in gossip. They can't believe such a beautiful woman would be married off to the deadbeat eldest young master. Tang So-hai smirks behind her fan. The plan is in motion, and she believes her future is finally secure. The Tang warriors are confident. They believe the young master has been dealt with, and there is no chance he will show up to ruin the night. Boom! The massive doors of the hall are blasted open with enough force to shake the entire building. A body is thrown into the center of the hall. It crashes right into the middle of the luxury feast, and the music stops instantly. Step aside. The deadbeat eldest young master has arrived, and he brought the very people who tried to kill him to testify. The prestigious Cheon clan banquet is thrown into total chaos as a mysterious young master strides in, followed by a group of trainees. Guards demand everyone sheath their swords as the tension reaches a breaking point with the arrival of the intruders. Standing before the crowd is the eldest young master of the Cheon clan, but he looks nothing like the lazy man they remember. Even the patriarch is stunned, asking if this lean and powerful warrior is truly the same boy who left just months ago. With eyes as cold as ice, Maryang drops a bombshell, demanding that his engagement to the Tang clan be cancelled immediately. Lady Tang So-hai watches in silence, her expression unreadable, as the room erupts in whispers at the sheer disrespect. Maryang reveals the dark truth, that the Tang clan tried to murder his personal maid, Wal Yong, right on the clan grounds. Tang So-hai stands up, defiantly claiming the maid was merely punished for breaking their laws, and mocks Maryang for caring about a servant. Maryang snaps back, stating that the maid is one of his people, and his terrifying aura leaves her speechless. The patriarch tries to maintain order by ruling that the maid incident will not be held against Maryang by the clan. But he delivers a crushing blow, saying a marriage alliance between clans cannot be broken just because of a maid's misfortune. When asked if she attacked the young master directly, So-hai blatantly lies, claiming it was just a minor misunderstanding. Suddenly, a group of trainees steps forward ready to testify that the attack was clearly aimed at Maryang. Maryang signals his men, and they drag and bound trainees who were caught red-handed trying to poison the young master. Lee Seok-gi, the head disciple, steps forward to confirm that Maryang has been training tirelessly every single day. Maryang delivers the killing blow, stating that the medical hall identified the poison as a secret drug belonging only to the Tang clan. So-hai bursts into laughter, calling the logic absurd, and demands to know why they would suspect her clan over an inside job. Maryang realizes with a sinking feeling that the momentum is shifting back in her favor as the patriarch starts to listen. The patriarch warns Maryang that if he is framing the Tang clan, he will be disowned or left to their mercy. Just as all hope seems lost, Maryang notices something hidden under the robes of a certain disciple that could change everything. Mumyong has the traitor Lee Seok-gi cornered in the woods, and he knows exactly what this rat is hiding. The tension is thick as he stares down the man who will soon be his pawn. Back at the banquet, the trap is finally sprung. Mumyong puts on a show of mental agony as he prepares to drag the traitors down with him. The news hits Lee Seok-gi like a hammer. All 7 trainees are marked for death, and he has been framed as the mastermind. Execution is the only sentence for his false accusations. Mumyong pushes him over the edge by demanding a slow and agonizing execution for them both. "Pull out our fingernails and gouge out our eyes," he screams with a terrifying intensity. The psychological pressure is too much for the coward. Lee Seok-gi breaks and pulls out the burnt clothes of the Tang clan assassins to save his own skin. Tang So-hai tries to claim it is all a lie, but Mumyong is one step ahead. He threatens to bring out the tracking dog Thunder to prove her warriors are the real culprits. "Give us the antidote and leave our territory," he demands, while staring directly into the eyes of his cold-hearted fiancée. The Tang clan will not go down without a fight. Elder Tang slams the table as a terrifying purple aura erupts from his body. This is the purple cloud flame Kai of an absolute master. General Seon Hak is not intimidated and unleashes his own flame Kai. The hall is about to turn into a bloodbath as the 2 powerhouses prepare to clash. Just when the chaos peaks, Patriarch Chen Wikang rises. He unleashes the legendary heavenly 5-bladed rainbow sword to silence the room. "Do not test my patience any further," he warns. The patriarch is done playing games and orders General Seon Hak to launch a massive investigation into the sabotage. In a move that shocks the entire room, he suspends the marriage alliance until the truth is dragged into the light. His aura is so suffocating that even the powerful warriors of the Tang clan find it impossible to even think about defying him. Tang So-hai is boiling with rage, but she knows she cannot win with pure force, so she offers a different kind of challenge. She proposes a duel for decision, where the winner gets to dictate the final terms of their complicated agreement. To ensure victory, she brings out her elite escort warrior to represent her clan against the man she considers a loser. Every person in the hall expects him to run, but the young master steps forward and accepts the trial by fire. The tension is electric as the patriarch gives his approval and sets the stage for a fight that will change the clan forever. So-hai leans in and tells her warrior to show no mercy, even if the young master leaves the stage missing an arm. The duel begins, and the young master moves with a speed that none of the disciples have ever seen from him before. Swords clash with a thunderous boom, as the Tang warrior realizes he is not fighting the weakling he was promised. The elite warrior launches a savage leaping strike, but his opponent is dancing through the blades like a ghost. When the warrior unleashes his powerful sword, Kai the young master only smiles because the victory is already in his sight. The ultimate showdown begins as Mumyong faces a lethal expert from the Tang clan in a high-stakes duel. Mumyong screams a challenge that shakes the entire arena as he prepares for the fight of his life. Every strike is a life-or-death gamble, as the warrior pours his sword Kai into every single blow. The Tang warrior sneers as he aims for Mumyong's arm, hoping to cripple the young master for good. He thinks victory is within his grasp, but he has no idea what Mumyong is truly capable of. In a blinding flash of light, Mumyong unleashes a forbidden technique that cuts through everything in its path. General Seon Hak stands amazed as he announces the winner while the crowd remains in stunned silence. Tang So-so is left speechless as her pride is shattered in front of the entire Chin clan. Bloodied and broken, Mumyong reaches out his hand for the antidote to save his loyal maid. Disaster strikes as Moomyong's internal energy backfires, causing him to fall into a state of total collapse.